There's at least two dozen different ways that MindBody could have failed and probably should have failed in the early years. I'd like to share two of those stories. So Blake Beltram and I conceived MindBody in the summer of 2000. He had started writing custom software for yoga, Pilates, and spinning studios in Southern California. And my first question was, yoga's a business? And what's Pilates? And why would anybody ride a bike indoors? So I went out and learned about this business, got very inspired, and finally decided to take that leap and quit my day job. But before I quit my day job, I took out a home equity loan. So for all the bankers in the room, thank you, because you would finance the home equity loan while I had a job. And so with that financing, we launched on January 1st, 2001. And Blake's job was to build the software, and I had the simple job of selling the software and perhaps helping people implement it, and then moving on and selling more and selling more. I went out into the marketplace, got in my Dodge Neon, drove up to LA, or down to LA and up to San Francisco, and quickly discovered three truths. The first truth was these people had no money. We were selling a product that would cost between $2,000 and $3,000 to set up, and maybe $100 a month of support, and very few people in that business at that time had any interest in spending that kind of money on technology. They're kind of anti-technology people, actually. The second thing I learned was, actually, the product was complete crap, and it didn't really work. And so we had about a dozen beta customers, and at least 8 of them told me in my first meeting, you know, I'm really angry, it's not doing what you said it would do, and I'm thinking of quitting. And so immediately realized we can't sell the software. We've got to fix the software, and we've got to save our precious first few customers. And we succeeded in doing that, and we actually lost none of them in that first 6 months. And in that summer, we were ready to start selling again, but we had completely out of capital. And this was in the wake of the dot-com bubble burst. There was nobody that was going to invest in our company, and all of you bankers in the room would have ran if I'd come to you and told you what I was doing. So we started guerrilla marketing, and we needed to focus. And so the tightest, best, fast-growing niche was yoga. And there's only a couple thousand of these studios in the whole world. But this is a market where we could gain recognition pretty fast. And everybody in yoga was reading Yoga Journal. So there was one trade periodical that we could advertise in, and we were putting very inexpensive ads in the back of it. And we wanted to have customer testimonials. And a good friend of ours said, okay, your testimonials are all West Coast. You know, it's all California. How are you going to sell software to people that are thousands of miles away? So in the summer of 2001, I started cold calling all the yoga studios in New York City. And out of an incredible amount of luck, on one of my cold calls, the teacher who answered the phone was a computer consultant who was teaching yoga in his part-time, and he got excited by the pitch. And so he started working to attract the interest of the owners, and one of the owners was a Stanford MBA, and I mean, a classic early adopter who would have some affinity to California software. And so we finally decided by the end of the summer that we could pull everyone together for a demonstration of our software. Now, to do a software demonstration across thousands of miles, we had to ship something called PC Anywhere. This was a software on a disk that they would install, and then they could link up and they could see our desktop. There was no such thing as web conferencing back in those days. So we shipped them the CD in late August. Early September after Labor Day, we got it set up, and we finally set the date to demonstrate MindBody software to the most impressive studio chain in New York City. And the date that we set was Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. So that morning, I got up early. I went out to my desk in the garage, and I started searching for flights to New York, because I wanted to be able to say during that demo, you know, Donna, you know, Jen, I'm going to be in New York in a few weeks, and that would be a great time for us to finish this, and I'll install the software for you, and I'll train all your staff at your 4 locations, you know, like I go to New York all the time. I hadn't been to New York in 14 years. And so while I was searching for the cheapest flight to New York, my wife called me into the living room to show me what was happening on TV. And so this isn't as dramatic as your story, Bridget, but I got to tell you, I didn't know what the heck to think. All I could think was, I don't think we're doing a software demo today. So I called Donna Rubin, one of the co-owners, and I said, you know, I'm so sorry. I hope you and your friends and family and your team are okay. I know the last thing you're thinking about is software. So let's pick this conversation up maybe in a few weeks. At this point, you know, there's about $2,000 left in the bank account. She called me back that day when the phones came back up and said, no, we're okay. That's downtown. we're in Midtown, we're okay, we want to go forward. So did the software demo on the 12th, flew out there about a month later, and in a cafe on the Upper West Side, they signed a $14,000 contract, gave me a $7,000 deposit. They're still customers today, and at our last Bold conference where they spoke on stage, they said, you know, Rick, we bought the software because you showed up. So what I recognize today, and to all the entrepreneurs out there and all the dreamers out there, is there's infinite number of ways in which your dream can fail. The people that survive, the people that surpass that, have that grit, have that determination, have the vision to throw the long balls. You're not going to hit all of them, but every once in a while, one will. Thank you.